Greetings and salutations.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome
What's
to the
happening?
cave.
Yo,
Welcome
what's
to
cracking?
Good to see you,
How's
gentlemen.
everybody doing?
Doing good. Doing good. How are you
Who
doing?
disappeared? Oh, okay.
Pat disappeared.
All right.
All right, I
What's
just
Hey,
shared
man,
to
good.
my page.
Good to see. Yeah. I got to do the same thing, Noob. I appreciate it. Good to see everybody. Man, I'm loving all this salt and pepper. See, Glenn, you ought to feel left out.
Not at all.
It's like the
Not
salt
at
and pepper
all.
show.
It's good to be useful. Once a month.
No. See, you're lying, and we're embracing the reality of
I'm
us being
respecting
seasoned.
my elders and letting y'all show your grace.
Oh,
I'm actually the youngest one on the show. Honestly, I'm the youngest one on the show.
Are you
I'm the
really?
voice of reason, but I'm the youngest one on the show.
we didn't need that, Mel. We didn't
Yeah,
need
that
to know
wasn't
you
even
the youngest
necessary,
one.
man.
We
You just,
didn't.
yeah, really.
We
He
didn't.
doesn't carry through.
I just hope I ain't the oldest one on the damn show.
No, I'm pretty sure I got the oldest held down. I usually have the oldest held down, Pat.
I don't
That's
know,
usually
bro.
my
I
spot.
don't know, bro. I might have you, man. I might have you.
I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident.
Sean's pretty
I
old. I
guarantee
can
you,
vouch
we probably
for him.
running a little neck for neck.
What'd you say, Pat?
I guarantee you, we probably running a little neck for neck.
Yeah. We might have turned some of the same corners. You know,
Yeah.
I actually turned some corners with B. Cole years ago. He probably wouldn't remember, but years and years ago, back when you and Dion were moving around together quite a bit. Me and
Yeah.
my guy, we were doing music down at the old
What up?
Comedy Act Theater and all of that stuff, man. We used to roll with you guys.
Man, yes. I remember that. I remember that. Wow. You talking about early 90s right there.
Early 90s, baby.
Early 90s.
I used to talk about you, man, and when I would talk about you, I would say, the cat, he always end his show with, I'm be cold, y'all be cool.
y'all be cool, I'm be cold. There
Yeah,
it is
y'all
right
be
there.
cool, I'll be cool. Yeah, man, I remember that, man.
Sean's memory won't let him get it right. That's how he got it right.
So we doing that tonight, Glenn. That's what we gonna do.
In age.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm just sharing. Everybody share the video, please. And if our audience watching, please share it with your friends and family and loved ones. Welcome to the Man Cave. Shawn Mason is your host, and I'll let him take it from here.
Man, we're so honored, man, to have our special guest this evening. And before I get started, I want to say, man, that my background is a little different than normal because I'm at my brother's again. Today is my brother and my nephew's joint birthday. The birthdays of the parents in my family. So they both have January 16th birthdays. They have the same name. So I always tell my brother, I hope he doesn't mess your credit up.
Happy birthday to the brother. Happy birthday.
They
Yes,
might
sir.
miss
Happy birthday.
Yeah, they might miss that number two, So I was over here with them, man, just kind of fellowshipping, and we just had food and that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna have some family movie time after the show. But I wanted to shout out my big brother Byron and my nephew Byron for their birthdays, man. So the way we usually do it, man, is we have our guests introduce themselves, and then we, as the staples on the show, we kind of say hello to everybody. But for those who may not have been exposed to you and know much about you, Pat, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewing audience? Tell them a little bit about you and how you came to be on the show.
Wow, man. Look, I'm Pat Neely. I'm honored and I'm grateful and thankful that you guys invited me. I was born and raised in Memphis, and Glenn and I realized that we got a connection with M-Town. Ran barbecue restaurants in Memphis for over 2.5 decades, expanded it from my first location when I was 23 years of age to, I think, about 7 locations. I had a couple in Memphis. I did the arena business. I had 7 locations in the NBA arena. Had a couple in Nashville, one in the Nashville airport. And then lo and behold, around 2007, Food Network tapped my shoulders. and I hosted a show with my ex-wife down home with the Neelys, where we went on to host that show for 13 seasons, over 300 episodes. And we hosted various other shows. One show was Road Tasted with the Neelys. We wrote 3 cookbooks, which our first one was a New York Times bestseller. Traveled the world. It was a great career. We raised 2 amazing girls, and unfortunately in 2015 we split. And by that time I had closed my restaurants because I was so engulfed in the TV entertainment business that I just couldn't do both. And I was one of these guys that said, man, I ain't never getting married again. My youngest, we had 2 girls. My youngest was starting college. I had a brilliant, great career and had everything going well. And lo and behold, Tom Joyner calls and says, come on, be on the Fantastic Voyage as my guest, as a celebrity chef. I want you to host a couple of parties, cook, do some things. And I did that, and I met my current wife. Now here I am, past 50. I meet my current wife. We had a long distance relationship because she lived in Georgia for about 2 years. Finally, I proposed to her, sold my home in Tennessee, moved to Georgia. She sold her home. And a month after we got married here on our property, she got pregnant. So here I am. And she had a 2-year-old son at the time. So here I am, 56, be 57th this year, with a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old son. I finally got the son I had, and the others are all girls.
So that's where the great comes from.
Los Angeles, a game show. So life is good, but I miss the fellowship. And
you earn this here. You earn this here with that baby you got. You earn this.
Oh, it's a lot more than that. But I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hey man, well look.
When I went through my divorce, I said I would never remarry again. You know, I'd been married for 20 some plus years. I had experienced just about everything that a man could ever want. And I was just going to fade away, date, and that sort of thing. Then I remarry and have a young baby. And I guarantee you my lifestyle now has added 10 to 15 years to my life. Because they give me so much joy and they keep me vibrant. And they're going to, look, you got a 2-year-old, she's going to keep your ass alert.
Yeah, I'm sure. You got tables with corners on them, and and all. Hey man, well look here, man.
When you get off the road, ain't no days off. So,
hey man, much love for your Tennessee roots, man. My family is actually from Tennessee as well, man. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she's from Memphis, and my family is from 90 minutes away in a little town called Milan, Tennessee.
Wait a minute, you've been making fun of Memphis and you got family? You've been making fun of Memphis for 20 weeks and you got family from there?
I got a lot of family in Memphis, but that ain't got nothing to do with me teasing you.
Our hometown, where we actually know how to cook the whole rib and not just rib tips like Chicago. We won't even get into that.
You might just be claiming Memphis, Glenn, and not even really be from Memphis.
I was born and raised there.
Hey, Pat, before I move on to Be Cold, as a matter of fact, my family owned a barbecue restaurant in Humboldt, Tennessee. Armour's Barbecue was my aunt and my uncle. Yeah, Ollie Armour and Shirley Armour. Yeah, that was.
Why the hell did you take the business and take it to the next level?
Yeah, you don't want me cooking your food, Doc. You don't want me cooking for you. You don't want me cooking for you.
Be pouring too much whiskey in it or something.
Yeah. We let Mel handle all the cooking on this show. Be Cold.
I can tell you this: your aunt and uncle probably are great people because, to run a business. I opened my business in 1988. I was 23. As a black man or a person of color, it was difficult. And, we didn't do it for the fame and fortune. We did it to survive. It was a means for income.
Right.
And, I honor all of the African-American husband and wives and granddaddies and different folks that stepped out on that platform and decided that they were going to take a leap of faith and not just work for somebody. So I'm sure there's some incredible stories, man. And at some point, me and you got to kind of connect and talk about it because that's dear to me. I mean, I have a real passion for African-American entrepreneurs that jump out there on faith, because I was 23 years of age and never worked with anybody. And I'll leave you with this. To this day, I ain't never punched nobody's clock. I ain't never worked for nobody in my life. And I was fortunate and grateful because of my family, and my uncle had ran the business. Glenn will tell you, my uncle in South Memphis ran Interstate Barbecue when I was a teenager, which propelled me to open my own business. So it's a story that I like to share, because we, as people of color, we need to be in control of our own destinies and our own careers and our own financial wealth and our own generational wealth. So glad to hear that. But we'll connect and we'll talk about it.
We're going to chop it up about that for sure. We're going to chop it up about that for sure. Be cold. Man, when I saw your picture, man, I just started smiling, man, because I was there back then. You know what I'm saying? When you was first cutting your teeth, man, on stages in Chicago, man. And I feel like even when I don't know what's going on with you, I feel like I'm still a part of your journey, because
I'm sorry, man. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was getting a phone. So yeah, somebody was calling me during that conversation.
I was just saying that when I saw your face, man, I was so tickled because I feel like I was there when you were cutting your teeth, when you were getting your start and doing your thing, man, and so I feel connected to your journey, so to get a chance, man, to bring it back around, and it looks like he's frozen now, but get a chance to bring it back around, man, feels real good. Raj, there you go. I don't know if you
I'm sorry, bro.
Did you hear that?
I'm sorry. No, I didn't. What was it?
No, I just said, man, just seeing you, man, made me laugh and made me happy, because I feel like I was there when you were cutting your teeth, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just good to see you, man. You look good. You look well, and I know a little bit about your background, but for the people that are watching, man, who don't know who you are, tell them a little bit about who you are and how you came to be on the show.
Yeah, man. Chicago native, born and raised. I went to Percy L. Julian High School. If any Jaguars out there watching,
I went to Cole, and we gonna follow.
Yeah. See, that was the rival, 103rd.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, East and West. But yeah, definitely. Graduated out of Julian in 1990, and I say from there, man, I started doing stand-up comedy in 1991. Exactly on Black Friday of 1991 is when I began stand-up comedy. The first person to introduce me, the first comedian to introduce me to the stage was Bernie Mac, the late Bernie Mac. So much love to that brother. And I went off and done television. Really, like probably my first 2 years of comedy, I was invited to do BET's Comic View. And at that time, with Comic View, that was before internet, social media. This is just TV, when everybody just had television to focus on, and everybody tuned into BET's Comic View. At that time, the magnitude of comedy, stand-up comedy, was huge. So I think I came in at the right time. 90s stand-up comedy was like really great. That was the introduction of Def Comedy Jam, along with BET's Comic View. And from there, I didn't transition into filmmaking. My first movie that I my first movie I wrote and produced was I'm in Love with a Crackhead, which was a signature joke of mine that I made into a short film, starring a lot of comedians who you all see out there today: Little Rail, Dion Cole, a lot of other cats. My man Tim and Durd. I know y'all know Tim and Durd with he's on that show Queen Sugar now. Yeah. But he was these guys was in my first film. I'm in Love with a Crackhead, and it's actually available to see on my YouTube channel too, Be Cold Films. You want to go to that. But from there, I just went behind the scenes, doing more writing more screenplays, producing films. I did a feature film called A Get Together, which is considered like a Chicago cult classic film. It's a comedy called A Get Together, and you're able to see it free on Tubi. If you go to Tubi streaming network, you can see it on there. I also see it on the IMDb channel as well. But now I've gotten back into stand-up. I just released my stand-up special, my hour special called Welcome Back Comedy, where I went back to Percy L. Julian to do my hour special back in June of 2019, pre-COVID. So on indie.tv, you'll see the our stand-up called Welcome Back Comedy. So to get a chance, check it out. But I've just been doing a lot, man. Just trying to stay steady, especially during the times right now. I just started my business, Shot Fly Entertainment, and just going on with that, man. Just seeing what the year is going to bring, 2021.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. So like I said, man, good to see you, man. Good to see you still moving around and doing your thing. And the hour goes by fast, man. We got about 45 minutes. It's gonna go quicker than you would ever imagine, man. So real quick, I'm gonna ask these two knuckleheads, my two colleagues, to real quick introduce themselves, and and then we're gonna chop it up a little bit. Glenn, you go first because Mel goes on attack every time I say something about him. He goes
before beauty. Go ahead, Glenn. Age before beauty.
Today, obviously, but anyway, I am Glenn Murray. I am the youngest member of the Man Cave. I support my elders, Mel and Shawn, with whatever they need, helping with the cane.
Yeah, but not a cane for that reason. Cane for a totally different reason. And you're not right. You should be handing us the cane.
Right. I know. The cane was timely. Yes, that was timely. Mm-hmm. Anyway, really glad to be here. Really quickly, co-producer on the show, 220 Holdings, 220 Publishing, best-selling author one time versus Mr. Six Time next to me here on the screen, on the Brady screen. Faith, Failure, Success, out now. Buy it. It's great. That's all I got to say.
And he's the only guy on the show who pretends to be from somewhere he's not. Mel, talk to me, man. Tell me.
I actually am the youngest guy on the show.
You're the what?
I said I actually am the youngest guy on the show.
Wow. I
am the voice of reason for my two counterparts.
That's fake news, like your man says. That's fake news.
No, sir. It's proven. I think our viewers will tell you it's proven.
You had one good week.
Half week.
Right. Hey, Shawn, Pat and B. Cole, make sure you guys go to the Indie TV page and share this actual broadcast to your Facebook, so your people can catch it. But yeah, 6-time Amazon bestselling author, actor as well, currently on Chicago PD for season 8. What else do I do? The most important thing is I'm not in my office today. I'm kind of chilling at the table. But I have two amazing daughters who are the loves of my life, who, now that I'm a 6-time best-selling author, if you get Faith, Failure, Success, you'll see that I dedicated my book to my two girls. I dedicate all my books to my girls. I'm also an owner of 2 personal and professional development companies. One of them is the Ultimate Coaching Exchange. The other is the Quiet Coaches, where we provide personal and professional development for individuals and business owners. And we're just going to leave it at that for now so we can jump into the show.
For sure, man. For sure. Let's chop it up, man. Let's jump right into it. I'm gonna ask B. Cole his thoughts on this first, and then we can go round robin, because this question was a little unclear to me, and then I guess we figured that there are some layers to it. But how do you do your own self-care, B? And I don't know, if you want to specify, from a physical standpoint, from a mental or emotional standpoint, but when someone, says to you, make sure you handle your self-care, what does that mean to you? How do you manage that?
Well, I've been practicing a lot, especially during this quarantine, but years prior to this time, I've been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual connection, getting my mental together, just really getting to know myself. And therefore I had to really just like strip myself of a lot of things, strip myself of ego, strip myself of everything I've learned and learn again, you know, just to figure out who I am as a person and my true purpose on this planet. So I've just been really just on the meditation, eating well, just definitely taking care of myself. Because if one thing 2020 taught me, is taught me that it's not bad being selfish. You know, it's okay to be selfish because it's actually necessary for you to take care of yourself, you know, before you can be able to help anyone else. So yeah, it's been a lot of soul searching, man, everything, a lot of prayer, a lot of just like I said, just connecting spiritually with the universe, with my conscience, everything, man. So it's like I never really even had to explain this before. So it may be coming out like kind of crazy, but
Well,
like I
no,
said, it's just
like I said to you, you know, the question, you know, it didn't sit comfortably with me either. I was trying to navigate it, you know,
right.
because some things, and we talk about this a lot on the show, some things are kind of given to female culture to be okay with. Some things aren't really given to male culture to be okay with. Pat, I'm gonna bring you in on this in a second because you were out for a second when the question hit the table. But yeah, some things are just kind of more comfortably given to female culture, and I think that a lot of times that puts us in a position where we don't give it any attention because we feel like it's not for us, when in actuality it is for us. And so, Pat, the question was, how do you see self-care as a man, whether it's from a physical standpoint, emotional standpoint, mental standpoint, spiritual standpoint, as B. Cole dealt with, when somebody says, self-care, you as a man, how do you self-care?
You know, it's so hard because I have always viewed myself as the last person to look out for me. You know, my responsibility a lot of times as a patriarch of our family is to take care of everybody else. So oftentimes, especially we as African American men, we've seen it for generations. We don't really concern ourselves with what's going on with us. It's how's the wife, how's the kids, how's the mother. And, of course, I came from a family business. It was the siblings. I want to make sure everybody else is taken care of. And through the COVID-19 and the pandemic and the quarantine and all of that, it has given me an opportunity to kind of say, well, wait a minute, man. What about you? What's going on with you? And it is complicated because I still feel like I have the responsibility to take care of my family, protect them. My mother has lived her entire life in Memphis. She's 83, and my sister lives with her who's in her 60s, and she's older than me. So now my responsibility and what we're having conversations about is moving them to Georgia so she can be closer to me. I have a lot of property, and I may even build her something here, and so she can be closer to me based on her age and that sort of thing. So quite frankly, I have never, even during this, been able to really focus in on how Pat is feeling and what's going on with Pat. It's always been about the family, my wife, my children, my mother, my siblings. And so that's always taken a back burner to me. It always has, and probably always will. And
Well, let me share this with you. Let me share this with you. Somebody that I know very, very well right now recently spent time in the emergency room, and it was deduced that the whole thing was stress related. So, heart fine, liver fine, everything physical that you can test is operating just fine. But the stress connected to whatever it is that that person is carrying and feels responsible for. And as they navigate life, landed them in the emergency room for about 8 or 12 hours. So as before we move on to Glenn and Mel, I just want to say that should be a pertinent walk away for you today. Every episode, you know, we're always excited about what our guests bring us, and what we can be taught by them. And oftentimes, even though we are the three regulars on the show, we often still end up giving each other things that over the course of 26, 27 weeks, we had never given each other before. And part of that is being open to getting something, right? And so for you, I say, with all that you're carrying, this may be a divine episode for you. And so that you give that some more attention, because I live alone and I feel stressed. So I can only imagine what the hell you feel. So we're gonna swing back around to it. But Glenn, tell me how you see that, man, and how you navigate that whole concept of self-care.
Yeah, I had to really learn to chop it up and really self-care in spurts for me. It may begin with a morning of meditating, just taking an hour when I wake up to meditate. Then, you know, over time, it grew to giving myself at least a day to just relax and do nothing, to not answer email, to not text, to not go on Facebook, to just separate myself. Football made it easy for me because I love football. So like my Sundays are my football days. I get my favorite food, get my drink, and I watch games for like 6 to 8 hours. You know, once the Super Bowl is over, I'm gonna have to figure out how to reconfigure that. Maybe basketball, but I needed to take my mind away from all the things that I'm 6, 7 days a week, sometimes 20 hours a day working on. And, you know, you bounce between G-Rows, I bounce between publishing, I bounce between everything else I'm doing. So my mind, when I go to bed, it's like I still am fresh with all the things that I need to do, and I'm already planning the next day. So I don't really sleep well. And I remember I did a sleep study, and they said that is that you never get into deep sleep. Like, we don't even know how you go as much as you do, because you never actually go into REM sleep. Your sleep patterns are so crazy. And that was my wake-up call, because it was really affecting me physically. So I had to figure it out. I had to just start slowly. And it's kind of like exercise. You don't go out there and do 2 hours in the gym if you've never done it before. You just, you know, take it in. And that's what I had to do.
Yeah, I don't sleep well either, man. And I would imagine that it is that inability to kind of shut your mind down. As a matter of fact, last night I slept okay for the first time in a while, but the night before that, I laid in bed at about 1 o'clock, tossed and turned for about an hour, dozed off, woke up at 5, got up for a second, went back to bed, laid awake for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find that rhythm. And I think it's probably hey, Pat's sister, we see you.
My sister Jackie.
Yeah, your sister Jackie. I think some of that is just, you know, it's men, man. You know, we're always trying to do and plan and be ready and anticipate, and so I think that we don't let ourselves rest. And Mel, before I chime in, I see B wants to say something. Come on, B.
I just want to jump in and say the most important thing to do is learn how to live in the present, because once you figure that out and once you're in the present and not worry about the past, you know, living in the past, feeling guilty or a lot of regrets living in, and also thinking about the future, things that you need to do. I've had to come to learn how to just be in the now. And by me being in the now, and then go at a pace where time moves, where you move with time. You know, a lot of people be rushing to get places, rushing to do things, and then you come to meet a situation that you could have avoided if you just moved at a pace in time. You know, you may avoid a car accident up ahead if you just move in time, but if you rushing, you already there in that moment. You know,
Yeah, but
so that's
but brother Cole, What you're
Yo,
saying is wisdom, experience. You know, you have to sometimes have the past somewhere back in your brain or in your mind or in your spirit,
yeah,
so that as you're moving forward, you say those things that I did before, I'm not going to do them anymore. You know, I would say everybody on this call tonight struggles with sleep. We all do. Trust me. Man, I
I
lay there
don't,
looking at the
bruh.
ceiling,
I
trying to
don't.
count sheep,
I
trying
was
to
gonna
do all
say,
the
I was
shit
gonna
that I
say,
do.
I
Nothing
was gonna say,
works.
Mel seems like the dude that has all this under control. Like he probably, he ain't
I
sweating.
sleep like a baby. Listen,
Neil ain't sleeping. I don't care
I,
what you
I,
say. He ain't sleep.
I sleep
Tell
like
me
a
about
baby.
self-care, Mel. Tell me about self-care. I don't want to
Man,
lose you
listen,
on that.
here's my
'Cause I
self
feel like
care. I work out and I eat tacos and ice cream and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
In that
100
order.
years from now, we all gonna be dead. I'm not taking this too seriously. You know what I'm saying? What did Robin Williams say in Dead Poet Society? You know, soon will be food for the
hey,
night. Like,
yeah, we'll be food for the worms. And I just watched that movie 2 days ago, bruh. And that's
bro,
one of my favorite films. And that's the only
my,
film that I can't watch with anybody because that's a tearjerker for me. And I admit that I do cry at the end of Dead Poet Society.
man,
So that's
Hey
listen, bro.
crazy
man,
you brought that up.
I cried on Lion King
You
when
brought that
Mufasa
up.
died,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Like, I
You
cried
cried
on
on
Lion
Lion
King when
King.
Mufasa died. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hey man, I cried on the
here's the
biscuit
thing,
eater
right?
when my dog got killed at the end. I cried like a baby on the biscuit eater.
We go through
Yeah.
life. We go through life a lot of times spending money we don't have to impress people who don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Exactly.
like, yo, we gonna be dead in 100 years. Live it up. You know, have some level of temperance, eat tacos and shit, but work out. That's
Hey
it.
man, hey, speaking of good movies, man, I don't know that everybody has seen this, man, but last night I sat up and watched One Night in Miami.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great movie. Great.
Man, that's an
I,
incredible movie, man. It was and if you haven't seen it, of course, I won't be dropping any spoilers, but when you see the icons, man, of your culture, portrayed and them interacting, it kind of reminded me of when I went to see the play The Meeting years ago. My brother whose house I'm at now took me to see the play called The Meeting years ago, the fictional
Uh-huh.
meeting between Malcolm and Martin. It was kind of like
Right.
that, and to see these
Wow.
guys, man, move around, man, and at times, man, it got tense, and the conversation was really, really, man, layered and tense. And I felt like, damn, I know this is a movie, but I kind of wanted to get up and leave because I
Wow.
was like, it was too much because all of these characters are
Yeah.
so dear to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
shout out to Regina King, man, for the work that she did. I think it was adapted as a stage play first.
Sean,
Yeah.
where can we see it? Is it on cable? Is
Amazon.
it on streaming? Where
Amazon.
can we see it?
It's on Amazon, Pat.
Yeah.
Amazon
Oh, is it?
Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. Great movie. Really interesting because they alluded to some of their faiths in the
Wow.
conversations, which was
I'm gonna have
really
to
deep.
check it out. I
because
haven't
it's
seen
it,
it.
because it's a fictional story. So
Yeah, it's a
supposedly,
fictional movie.
this never really happened.
Right.
I have heard that they did hang out one night, but nobody knows what happened. So this is maybe somebody's idea, Regina's idea, or the playwright's idea of what would have happened on a night like that. But what I thought was poignant, and I can share this without ruining the story. The story begins with a less than stellar moment for every one of them, even though
Wow.
they are iconic and we see them as these larger than life characters.
Mhm.
We're introduced to them in that space, right? In the space we know them as
Right.
larger than life, but in moments that were not what we came to know them as.
Wow.
And I think that was done very well by the writer to humanize them first, so that you stopped looking at them as these legends and these icons and it humanized
Right.
them before you got into the story, man. But this guy who plays Malcolm, his name is Kingsley Ben Adir, if I'm
Yeah,
pronouncing it right. This dude,
it was amazing.
he's gonna rock your whole mind, dude. He's gonna
okay.
Yeah, he.
Wow.
I mean, I was
I'm
very
about to check
familiar
it
with.
out, man. I haven't
Yeah,
seen it, I haven't heard about it. I've been so crazy busy, but I'm about to check it out. And that's a flick for me and my wife. I can already tell because one of the things that we do with all of this staying at home so much is we pick some good movies and we kind of chill. And it kind of goes back, like my life ain't so intense that it's always about the family and taking care of everyone. I'm
Right.
truly blessed on many levels. One, I've got amazing small kids. I've got grown kids that are, independent, able to work from their own homes under these, drastic circumstances and not lose any, money. They ain't called dad and asked him for shit in a year. And that's pretty damn good under the pandemic when I got one living here and one living there. And so one of the things me and my wife do is we try to have like date night here at home, where sometimes we even bring in a grandmama or a babysitter. They're upstairs with the kids, and we're down in the other room, really watching a movie or having cocktails and things like that. So we're going to have to include this movie into our social beings here at home.
Make sure you watch my movies too, bro. I'll make sure you got all the titles of them.
Y'all send me everything, man, because we be looking for stuff, man. I be
Okay.
on Netflix. I be on Netflix and on some Hulu and baby, what you think about this? No, we don't want to watch that. We don't want. But she is a HBCU graduate. Went
Okay.
on to medical school and pursued her medical profession. And I come in sometime, man. She has some shit on. I don't know none of the actors or nothing. She's like, but they all look like me. And she's like, sit down, we gotta watch this, we gotta support this. I'll be like, baby, where you find this at? It's on Beat, Dump, some. I don't even know where she found it. But when it come to
Yeah, you
people
got a
looking
younger
for
wife.
stuff, like
I
you
could
can't
tell
put
you
too
got a
much
younger wife.
of the other folks on TV, and no, not Miss Neely. She I call her little Angela Davis. So,
fellas, what y'all drinking? What are y'all drinking? You muted, Shawn.
I told y'all I got Tennessee whiskey. I got Jack Daniels.
Well, I don't drink because of my strong Christian upbringing. So I'm drinking Coke or something like that looks like Coke that's brown.
Apple juice. It's apple juice, Glenn.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Mel.
You're muted, Shawn. We can't hear you. We can't hear anything you're saying, Mr. Mason.
Which actually ain't bad, but we want to hear you, I guess.
You had strong Christian upbringing when you was drinking that Bullet in Woodford Reserve. That was where was the Lord in your life then? Is my question, I guess.
Oh, how do you know what that is? Bullet or Woodford Reserve sounds like a bed and breakfast or something.
Yeah, your nose is growing. Check this out. We're gonna move to the next question, man. What do you think is worse? And I'm gonna start with Mel because he's been quiet. And I don't even know that I kind of have a problem with the whole ideology of worse. Like I hate when people on social media post those things and they and they're like, one of these singers has to go, or like somebody says, like I saw somebody post the other day, Jasmine Sullivan has a new hot project out, and I admit her song "Girl Like Me," I played it like 20 times every day for the last 3 days. Dope song.
Right.
The dude comes out and says, "I'm just telling you, Jasmine Sullivan is the best we got. She's the best we got." She can be the best for you. Why don't you just call her your favorite? That's okay. Right. You ain't gotta crown her the best because that's just your opinion. So right. I say all that to say, worse is relative, but when it comes to women with daddy issues versus men with mama issues, which do you see as being the most detrimental to the culture of relationships is the way I'll phrase that question. And I'll ask Mel to give his insight first.
Well, I think it has the potential to be the recipe for disaster, depending on the extent of the issues and how they let it impact them, right? So you have issues. I think generally what happens is when people have mama issues, daddy issues, or whatever, when they see something in their parenting or something took place, either they end up mirroring that behavior, or they try to go as far away from that type of behavior as possible. So, I don't think that there's a cookie cutter answer. I don't think that there's a one is worse than the other. It's who is the person, what are their issues, how are they dealing with it, are they open to therapy, do they eat tacos and work out and shit? Like, that's my answer. Eat tacos and ice cream and work out, and all the problems could eventually go away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do think, Glenn, I do think, Mel, you said something very, very poignant. What I do think it's important that they identify which one it is. Whether it's, you said they're either trying to get that thing that they had as a parent, maybe, or they're trying to get as far away from it as possible. I do think it's important that they identify which one that is, because at least you know what the hell you're working with. Like, I remember going to counseling with an ex of mine and realizing that her grandfather was who I was in competition with, and I was never going to measure up to him. And it's like you said, it's either somebody who is trying to get, this babe is determined to make B. Cole be her father because she adored her father so much, or this one dude, or her father was such a raggedy dude that anything that you do reminiscent of her father, she's ready to demonize you because of that. And I get a bit of a knock for saying this, man, but I think that we should be in better control of our triggers. Right. I just believe that. I believe that once we have identified those things that we see as triggers, and it's okay for them to be triggers, but I think that once we have identified them, then there's some onus on us to take control of those things and to manage those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's something you can do overnight, but for you to let certain behaviors exacerbate or exist, and your only reasoning is that's a trigger for me. Right. And that says to me that you're willing to let something else control your life more than you're willing to control your own life.
Right. And that word you saying, control, is very important, but to put before that is self-control. And it's all about working on self before you deal with anybody else. And you dumping your issues and all your problems on someone in a relationship. But if two individuals work on self and come together, it'll be a nice result. But the thing is, when people come together, they tend to lose their independence, and they depend on one another, and they depend on each other to make each other happy. When you got to do this for yourself, it's all about self-control, because if you can control your emotions, you can conquer the world. And you can just, if you can just be smooth and cool and just go at a pace, like I said, just go at that pace of time.
Well, having a relationship, man. Go ahead, Pat.
I want to say this because I grew up in a family of 5 boys and 1 girl. And my father died of a massive heart attack when I was about 12. And when I got married, both my marriages, I've had daughters. And I've always felt like it's more important for me to set the tone and the example of a man for my daughters than it is whatever they can get from their mother. That is crucial in our society right now. And what I mean by that is that I set the tone and the standard for my girls as to what to expect of a man. Father, relationship, whatever. And so I feel like that father-daughter relationship is much more important than the son-mother relationship. Because we as young, especially African-American boys and men, and as we grow, we got to figure this shit out. I mean, it is what it is. If you had a daddy, then that's great. If you didn't have a daddy and he was over here, then you got to figure it out. You still can't take that pattern or this or that. You got to figure it out. But your girls and the example that the father or the man in their life exhibits is the standard that she's going to accept. This is what she's going to seek out for. These are the standards that any guy that comes into her life is going to have to live up to. Is ultra important for the sanctity of our future, because when that woman decides that this is a guy that's going to come into my life and he's going to do this and do that, if she's had an example, then she knows what she wants. And
Pat, I'm with you.
Important. Like my daughters, for a long time, my grown daughters, they could not really get into a successful relationship. And I told them, I said, well, your mama got the last good one, and she didn't know what to do with it. They don't make them like me, but once every now and then. But because I'm setting the standards. And, I got a 24-year-old. I got a 32-year-old. We ain't never had drugs, alcohol, abusive men in their lives, teenage pregnancies, or none of that. Because they daddy, along with their mother, no disrespect to their mother, but I stood up and said, this is the standard for you as a young lady. And they followed that path, and I'm extremely proud of them. So speaking from a male's perspective, a woman, if we had on here, might have a totally different perspective of her and her son. But from a male's perspective that have raised daughters, man, it's so damn important. I try to tell these young brothers now, it's so important. If you got a daughter, you might have a son and say, well, I want him to be like me. I want him to be a man. That's cool. That's cool. But if you got a daughter,
I'm with you, bro. I got two.
You got work to do. You got work to do.
Right.
And setting that example.
I got two.
Exactly.
I got two. My girls are 10 years apart. My oldest daughter, I've been buying her diamonds since she was 16 years old. She'll be 29 next month. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So when some man steps into her life and tries to impress her with trinkets, she like, I've been laced. You know
what? Be cold. I took my daughters on a cruise when they were teenagers. And folks said, why you take your daughters on a 7-day cruise? I said, so when some little young ass boy come up and say, want to take her to a tropical island or something, you say, well, you can take me, but my dad already took me, so don't expect for me to lay on my back and throw my legs up in the air because you done took me on a cruise. I'm already experienced that. I'll go with you, but understand that my standards already been up here.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. Just based on what we know is a bit of a different lens that men and women are seen through, do you think that the man with mommy issues is seen as much more damaged than the girl with daddy issues?
I think so, but I can't even fathom having mother issues because I had such a great relationship with my mother until I don't even get having mommy issues. So that just doesn't even register with me. But I think it's extremely difficult when a woman has daddy issues, because usually the daddy issues translates to ex-boyfriend issues or ex-husband issues or several men issues. And then you're trying to make up for everybody she's dated, for the man that raised her or didn't raise her, for the men she dated that did her wrong, for the man she married and it didn't work. So you're basically taking on everybody's issues and all rolled into one ball thrown at you.
Right, I agree, because I think the man with mommy issues tends to seem like somebody, I got you, Mel, seems like somebody who cannot sit in that seat appropriately in terms of managing the relationship as a man would, and bringing the male energy to it that is traditionally something that women are looking for. Go ahead, Mel.
I'm going to shift gears because that's what I do. What's the best way to break up with somebody? Like,
Pee in
what's
the
the
bed.
best way? Let's go ahead and turn this script, turn the corner. Like, what's the best way to break up with somebody? Huh? What? No? Go ahead, we can go to you first if you want to. The best way to break up with somebody, and what do you do when you know that there's a need to break up with somebody, but like they're a good person, so you kind of like, how do I manage this? And go.
Like I said,
When?
pee in the bed. You pee in the bed, she out of here. Do it. She probably forgive you the first time. You do, but about that third day in the week, she out of here.
Hey,
And I
hey,
ain't got nothing else to say about that.
Hey, B, if she hanging there 3 days out of 7 with pee in the bed, I think she the one anyway. You maybe
She the
want
one.
to.
She the one.
You win because I didn't see anything to beat Tiger Stripes.
Hey,
You just won the championship. Somebody get him a
The problem
That's
with
one
that
for the real.
she might not like it.
right.
She-
That's what I say. If she can handle 3 days out of the week with you peeing in the bed, you shouldn't leave her.
Go to shower. You didn't know go
Right,
to shower.
right.
Oh,
It might be the one you need to be hanging with, and you the one blowing it.
oh my God.
So what Shawn said is 2 times is a warning, 3 times is a keeper.
Oh
3 times you need to reevaluate your commitment, is what I'm saying.
I tell you what,
Hey, that's a ride or die right there, B Cole. That's a ride or die. I call that a ride or die.
You might want to open your mind on the third one, so that's how
I'm gonna listen to Glenn on their responses, cause you know I'm a married guy. I don't know nothing about breaking up and all of that. I don't know how you do it, but I don't think I'm gonna be peeing in the bed with her. Here's the thing.
Hey, Pat.
Like it, but shit, I can't stand it.
Hey, Pat. All the married guys come in. They have to be a little careful, because we single. So don't let us put you on the couch now. Don't let us put you.
Right.
Oh boy.
I don't need you calling me talking about, look, I need to sleep in your basement. Talking about, I need to sleep in your basement. Y'all piss my wife off. I need to sleep in your basement.
Y'all talking about being in the bed. Y'all done messed us up. Pat gonna go back to his representation and be like, don't ever have me on that show no more. Hey, we ain't never gonna be known as the man cave no more. It's gonna be the P in the bed show. We got a whole new
Hey, I was just trying to get Mel the quickest, fastest way to get rid of somebody. Just easy.
I got the new.
And I appreciate you, B. That's why I've been rocking with you for 25 years, bro.
I got some new name for the show. It's the Yellow Snow Show.
Oh God! Really?
I'm just saying.
Live from the Golden Shower.
Hey, for me, man, if we haven't really, turned a whole bunch of corners and we still in the reviewing phase and all that, I don't really feel like it's got to be a speech. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes from Martin when he was trying to leave the bedroom and Gina sat up and said, "You ain't got to make a speech, man."
Right.
That's how I feel. Like, my energy to tell you, I'm not really with it. Now if we already then turn some corners and solidify some things in, I'm not gonna disrespect you with some lame breakup. But Mel, I did have somebody break up with me on Facebook. Real talk.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, I woke up. I woke up the next morning, and when I went to bed, my status said in a relationship with such. And I woke up the next morning, and it just said in a relationship. They had taken themselves out. That's how we split. I was like, wow, that is.
No text message, nothing, Shawn. Just you ain't in a relationship no more.
To this day, we never had a I guess we still go together because we never had a conversation.
Did you all come into Facebook together?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because you know, some people come from MySpace, had relationships on MySpace, and they transcended over to Facebook.
Right.
Like,
no,
you know,
we started the way they all started being, and then she left me on Facebook.
Not like I don't go with you no more. We went together on MySpace. This is a whole
right. I need some space now.
Hey, I just thought about that. I need to call her husband and tell her we still go together.
Next question.
You started this, Mel. This is your fault. I blame you.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm just warming up, Glenn. So buckle up, dear brother.
5 minutes to warm up, then, pretty boy.
Hey, oh no, I got a message from production. Don't you worry about it. I got you, dear brother.
This is only message in Mel, Shawn. We need to talk about that. We need a meeting about that.
Hey, have a meeting. Have a meeting. Hey, Glenn, I could easily get you taken out right now. I got eyes on you right now, bro.
I want to see that happen.
I got eyes on you.
Take me.
Next question, gentlemen.
I get taken out the whole show. I'm Nino Brown on everybody. If I go out, everybody.
So next question for you. Were there things in your younger years, relationship-wise, that were deal breakers that as you matured, you realized maybe not so much of a big deal now, and they wouldn't be deal breakers now? So let's just say in your 20s and 30s, you were like, oh, I couldn't deal with this. But now 40s, and for those of you that have eclipsed the half of century mark, you know, are there things now that is like, you know what? Maybe I was just a little, you know, a little too stern in this area, maybe. So let's start with B. Cole.
Well, you know what? Just as I was saying earlier in the show, I didn't been practicing and learning how to live so much in the present. I can't even reflect back to the past relationships to even think about them situations. I don't think so, man. I think any breakup I had, I think that was really official. It really had its means to really come to breaking up and never looking back and no regrets. So I can't help you with that one, Mel.
B say you on your own, pimping.
Yeah, I can't do that one, man.
All right, what you got, Glenn?
Well,
Glenn's scared.
I know you're supposed to be like narrowing the things that you don't know. So you had all these things that were deal breakers when you were younger. To be quite honest, I still got them. I'm like, I'm sorry, they all still the same. Shit ain't changed. I got the same set of deal breakers at my age now that I had at 30. Sorry.
You know what, man? Mine are the same too, man. Mine were never
broken.
Sorry. I think they only changing when they were out of order.
Yep, exactly.
You know, like mine have always been pretty consistent, which is first and foremost. I mean, I want to be physically attracted to you, which does not mean you have to look like a supermodel. I've been attracted to people that, you know, my people was like, dude, are you okay? You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know,
you've been attracted to people that look like they pee in the bed.
Right. Mel,
she look like she be going to shower.
Mel, hey, this is a true story. I dated a chick one time, and a choir director that I had, I took her to a Christmas party at my choir director's house. And the next time my choir director saw me, she said, you still dating that girl? I said, no. I said, she turned out to be a stalker. She said, yeah, she looked like she'd have to stalk.
Yeah.
and I was good. I didn't have no problem with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was attracted to her, so I didn't really care, you know.
Hey, so Shawn liked the stalker. He wants that attention. He like, oh, at least she giving me attention. She might be outside my house at like midnight, but that's attention.
Right. I think that you know, as you get older, your priorities shift a little bit, but some of your basic principles never change. I never was attracted, or I was turned off by women that were in the game for status. And sometimes it took me a while to figure out who they were, but when it's about well, I want to be seen, or I want this, I want that. That always was a huge turnoff for me. And it still is, because how you may be perceived on social media or in your profession or whatever it is, keep it real. I've always been a real brother. I am what I am. I'm gonna keep it real. When you talk or see Pat Neely, you get the real Pat Neely. I don't want no somebody beside me that's got to prep and all of this because of the environment. Be real. And so
what I've learned, Pat,
when I detected that, I was immediately turned off, and I still am to this day. If it's all about brand names and Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all of this,
right.
You gotta have all of this to impress somebody else. You don't really care about it because of the quality of it, of what you have. It's about impressing somebody else. Then I got a real issue with that. Now, I like nice shit. Don't get me wrong. But I like it because I like it. I ain't got to show it to you or nobody else. I just like it. And so if we're in that realm, we cool. But when you trying to impress the folks around you and it's all about that, and I pick up on that, it's over. It's over for me.
Yeah.
I don't care what the attraction. I don't care how big the breast and the booty is and all that. I can't get it up. I mean, you didn't turn
I'm with you.
Because I know your game is somewhere else.
I'm with you on that, Pat. With you on that, bro.
What I learned is the lady who is preoccupied with presenting physically is preoccupied with that because that's really all she has to present with.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if she has lady, I'm going to shout her out. I had a photo shoot with a young lady over the last couple of days. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful girl. I've never met a girl this beautiful that was this humble about how she looked physically, because in her mind, she felt like, oh, this is the least of what I got to offer. So I don't have to take it super seriously. You know what I'm saying? And she's so dope. When I posted pictures of her, people were inboxing me about her, and people she didn't know were inboxing her. And this is just based on her exterior. You don't even know if she can put together a full sentence.
And Shawn, let me lay this on you. Those are the most beautiful women on this universe.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
The ones that don't even realize what they have. And they don't even give a shit about that. They got inner stuff that they want to get out that's even more beautiful than their physical attraction. And so that's where I'm at. Like, and I've been that way even when I was younger, man. I dated when I was young, guys. I'll tell you this. And I dated some of the pretty girls and all that, or tried to date them.
You still young to somebody.
Uncle's business. Glenn will relate to South Memphis. You know, wearing a sweatshirt with cut off sleeves, mopping floors and shit, didn't have nothing, driving an old ass car. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me because I didn't have the status or the car or the well-being they could take me out and show them. They couldn't even take me home to introduce them to their mothers and fathers. Then lo and behold, come 1988, I started running my business, bought a 911 Porsche and all that. Here come these same girls. They come back, hey, you fine. You know, can we hang out? Can we do? I don't want to be bothered with you. Nah. I don't give a shit how big your booty is and what you got. I don't want to be bothered with you because the genuineness wasn't there when I was mopping floors. So don't come to me now that I got a couple of restaurants, you know, and I'm on some boards and I'm getting recognition and I'm doing this and that. Don't come to me now flicking your hair and batting your eyelashes because I know that shit ain't real. Because as soon as my business start to falter or there's some struggle or whatever's going on, then you gone. So there was never even, there wasn't even an attraction.
And
I can lose that shit out of my head.
And Memphis women that didn't talk to me back when I was there back then, You can't have me now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, most of the time today from the past, they don't even look the same. You know, right now, I mean, you'll see somebody from your past who wouldn't give you time of the day, and they all on you and in your inbox, and they looking like Danny Glover right now. You know, it's just real, man.
Hey,
So,
Nico.
And we ain't talking about Lethal Weapon Danny Glover. We talking about Beloved Danny Glover. We talking about Danny Glover on Beloved with the gray and the nasty nappy beard and all that. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, you talking about look at you, Danny Glover. Look at you.
Gentlemen. I got something for you. I need a 15-second answer. I'm going to give each of you a different scenario. Shawn, you're up first, good brother. All right, you meet a young lady. Why are you shaking your
You know I do well with these. You know I do. Come on with it. You know I don't do well with
these. Answer. I need an answer. I need a short 15-second answer. You meet a young lady. She's gorgeous, professional. She doesn't mind the fact that of your height. You know what I mean? All of that other stuff that you think is an issue, not an issue to her. She's amazing. You've been courting a couple of dates. All is well. Right, you finally get to that moment where it's like we get to know each other on an intimate level. Bam, get her to the crib. She takes her shoes off. Her feet stink. What do you do?
I thought she was gonna pee on him or something.
We're not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that because I ain't gonna be able to get the smell out of my brain. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that, dude. She gonna have to. She can find somebody else that will take all of her loveliness and her funky feet. I'm just not gonna be.
She just gonna have to come over when you got some COVID symptoms or something. You know, you can't get that sense of smell or taste.
Neil, hey Neil, my answer ain't gonna be 15 seconds. How you know it's the feet?
All right.
Oh, right.
I've been there too, Pat. That's not nice. Be cold, Pat. Come over when your COVID symptoms kick in.
I ain't moving no further. I ain't going no further because I don't know whether it's the feet or the ass. I don't know.
And if it ain't the feet or the ass, it's something else, which is even worse.
So you know damn well I ain't going no.
Hey, Mel, you turn this corner. Hey, I got no apologies.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Nico, you on deck, bro.
This is your fault.
I'm scared for Bico to answer this question. I'm scared.
Okay.
You're on deck. All right. So you met a young lady, dating, courting, all of this other stuff. You get invited to an award show. Now, up until this point, she's had amazing conversation. She enunciates well and all of this other stuff. You get her to a award show. What you didn't know is that when she gets nervous, she stutters. She's with all your comedian friends, and they ask her a question. She stutters. How do you handle it? Go.
I start beatboxing and make it seem like we about to start rapping. I'm like,
hey, because you told me about that project coming out, right? We got a project coming out.
You got to drop a beat for her, man. Just start beatboxing. See, if you love her, you gonna help her out. You know,
because you remember Das Effects and they used to rap real fast.
Right.
No, Glenn. He said if you love her, you gonna help her out.
Yeah.
You gonna figure out a way.
I'm gonna figure it out, man. I mean, if the vibe been cool all the way up to that point, I brought you to an award show, so you got to be special.
You gotta be real fine to be stuttering and like I got a beatbox with her.
Hey, you know they leaving that night and finding her a good therapist, and then
she gotta be tens or better. I'm sorry.
All right, Glenn, you on deck.
Oh my God. Okay. No comment. Whatever you ask me. All right, what? Give it to me. What? Here we go. I don't know whose idea this was, but Roger and Keisha, we're gonna have a meeting.
Hey, I'm one of the producers on the show, bro. It's just one of those things, okay?
Yeah,
just one of those things. Just one of those things.
Yeah.
Got a young lady in your life, you know what I'm saying? You cool. Hygiene is always on point, right? So her feet don't stink.
Okay, thank God. Okay, good.
Feet don't
Well,
stink.
that-
All right, that's
You
good.
know, it's not a thing. It's not a thing,
All right,
right?
good.
Okay. So y'all get into it or whatever.
She don't stutter.
And
She don't stutter.
huh?
She doesn't
She don't
stutter, does
stutter. She don't
Okay, good.
stutter. Feet don't stink. However, when she sweats,
However,
you notice when she sweats, it tastes like barbecue sauce. What do you do?
Hell.
He said it tastes like barbecue.
Let me tell you something.
hold
I
up.
ran
Is
barbecue
it
restaurants.
Neely's barbecue sauce? Because we might be able to work with
I ran
that.
barbecue restaurants for the majority of my life, especially if we ain't in love and it smell like barbecue. I'm finna put her ass to work.
As long as she don't
Hey,
get, as long.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, so Pat, that is a voice from on high. If her sweat smell like tastes like barbecue sauce, he is like the Lord has sent her down to me specifically.
Hey,
As much as
Shawn,
I love barbecue,
she gonna be in the lobby like a motherfucker. Y'all, excuse my French, y'all.
And she gonna have the root.
Customers and shit.
She gonna have the Rudy Giuliani. She gonna have the Rudy Giuliani just barbecue sauce going down her face, taking orders.
Right.
Oh,
Be out there in the lobby.
oh God. All right. So last but not least, Pat is on deck. All right. And here's what I want to do for Pat on deck. Out of everybody that's on this show tonight, I've known B. Cole the longest. So I am going to defer to my brother to give Pat a scenario. Because I know you can do it. Give Pat a scenario.
Oh man, all right. So okay, cool. All right, well look, check it out. Now you in the car driving on a nice date, you had dinner, you had a movie. Now you're heading home. You're heading to take her home. And then all of a sudden, from the foods that y'all done ate, she got them stomach problems. And she got to let go. And she let go inside the car in the wintertime, windows up, heat blasted. Do you say something? Or do you just ignore it? And y'all did go out for tacos.
No, here's what we do. We cracked. I cracked the window. I hit it. So what that does is let her know that I know that she done cut some awful, god awful shit out of her gut.
Right, but that's letting her know.
Listen, because I can't take that relationship any further. That's it for tonight. That is it. You know, listen, if you let out some god awful aroma out your body that has totally turned my stomach, how in the hell can I walk you up and go in your apartment or your home or whatever, and me and you start hanging out? Baby girl, go take you some Tums, some Malox, Pepto-Bismol, whatever you need to do. Go and take care of that. And
get that clean.
I'll call you. And when I come back in a couple of days, if it's all fresh and everything, we might be able to, my mind might be able to absorb that and lose that, and we go on. But ain't nothing happening. We rolling. And you come on loose where I got to roll the windows down. Oh no.
I love how Pat said it though.
I'll tell you this. Homeboy like, dude, take me home. we ain't doing nothing tonight. Take me home.
But see, Pat, and look, this and for the fellas, if that ever happened to you guys, where you got a situation and you in the car with a girl, and fellas, we in Chicago, you know, we got a place we can drive to. If you drive down to Bishop Ford, it already smell like that on the expressway. Make sure you take that route, and then you can let it go. You can let it go. She won't know.
Just take it right by 111, right?
And you be like, man, it stank outside. It's really stank over here, you know.
But be cold. Most of the time we know it's coming. We already let the window down for it.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
You know, be like, it's hot in here. I need some air. We let it down. Then we crawl up, and then she don't even know.
Went down. You was looking over there. You saw her sweating and trembling and carrying on. You was like, okay, This is not going well. This is not going well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Guys,
gentlemen, thank
you
you.
guys' topics listen, this has been like hanging out at a bar with 4 or 5 cool brothers. We chatting it up, we having cocktails, and I have to tell you, I am so grateful and thankful that you guys invited me because I have not experienced anything like this with brothers in over a year.
Absolutely.
It's been over a year that I've had cocktails with brothers. A couple of guys down here, we go to the bar or something, but because of the pandemic and everything that's taking place, we ain't even wanted to go out or hang out or do nothing like this. So I'll say this, that I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Please invite me back anytime that you want to invite me back. You think it's some topic or something that I can be involved in. And I would love to join you guys again because this has been cool, man. I mean, if you look, I'm gonna show you some shit. I got, I'm chilling. I got my pajama shit on, but
Right.
it has been amazing.
The sequel is on the horizon.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Exactly,
Hey,
man.
we enjoyed you, man. We enjoyed you too. I didn't really realize that we had invited 2 light-skinned brothers in. I wasn't thinking about that. We should have called this the Al B. Sure L. DeBarge show. The Christopher Williams show.
Gentlemen, one of the things that we normally do on our shows is we create a playlist, right? One of my side hustles is I've been DJing since the 90s. So we create these playlists and then we put them out to our viewers. We'll build a list on Spotify. We'll build it on Apple Music. Then we just post it, and it's a live from the cave, whatever the list is. So what I want from each one of you, and everybody gets to contribute 3 songs. What I want from each one of you, and this is going to be a bit of a different playlist than we've ever done before, right? Because it's gonna not be all over the place, but the mix of music is going to be different. So I want a song that gets you hype, right? Like if you're about to work out, or if you're about to do a show, Biko, or Pat, if you're about to get in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Yo, pump up music. What's something that's like hype song? It's about to go down song. So I want that song. Then I also want a motivational or inspirational song, like you might be going through something and this song uplifts you. Doesn't necessarily have to be a gospel song. There are some songs that have positive messages, or it could be a rap song. There's some Jay-Z songs that uplift me when I'm going through. I Can't Knock the Hustle is one of my, when I'm going through it, that's one of my songs, right? And then last but not least is a feel-good song. You know what I'm saying? So like what I mean by feel-good song is one of those songs that no matter what's going on, if it comes on, it just gives you that, kind of like a Frankie Beverly and Maze, type deal. It's like, nostalgic, whatever, just mood enhancing. So a pump you up song, an inspirational song, and a feel good song. So I will let whoever wants to volunteer to go first. I won't even call the person. Whoever wants to volunteer to go first to give their 3 songs.
I'll go first. What was the category again?
So
I did that because I knew you didn't think I would do it. But come on.
The first one is a pump you up song. Give me your pump you up song.
That's the I Want to Dance House remix by Marvin Winans.
Give me something I could find, bro. like we can't make a YouTube list. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy.
I got that on Spotify.
Okay, so on Spotify. I wonder if is it on Apple Music too?
I don't know, but I don't really do Apple Music. I do Spotify, but it's called "You Make Me Want to Dance."
Didn't you put that on a different one before? Didn't you put that on one of our other playlists?
I may have. I'll give you this instead. Hate It or Love It by Game.
By Game? Okay, Hate It or Love It.
What's the next category?
You your inspirational song, your pull you out of a bad, you're going through it. This is a song for reflection and upliftment.
Well, I want to make sure I ain't mixing the last two categories. What's the other category?
The other one is just a feel good song. Like it could be a party song, a feel good, nostalgic, whatever.
Come back to me.
B Cole, help this brother out, please. Give me your
Come
3
back
seconds.
to me. I'll be good when you come back.
Well, I say with my feel, well, with the hype song, that's the first one, right? The hype
That's
song.
right. Yep.
That, like, man, I gotta say, Method Man and Redman, Rock Wilder. Like, anytime I want to just, when I'm ready for the stage or for anything, even working out, that's the song to get me pumped and charged. Inspiration. Yeah, inspirational song. You might be surprised by this because I listen to all genres of music, and it's a song by Leonard Skinner, and it's called Simple Man. And that song right there, Simple Man, if you're familiar with it or not, it's just a song, him just speaking of his mom's teachings and what his mom taught him through through the song. He's just repeating what his mom taught him to be a simple man through life. Check it out, man. It's very inspirational. It's very moving, and you'll like that. My feel good song that I just feel good, man. I can ride to anytime it come on the radio. Anytime it comes on, it's a song I can't skip. I sing it from beginning to end every time, and it's Ice Cube. Today was a good day.
Woo!
Yeah, that song right there, man. It takes you through the day. It just takes you through it, man, and just allow yourself to have a good day. That's my song.
Dopeness. Big Pat, what you got, bro? Your hype song.
Inspirational is just a range because I'm not a big music guy. Like I am a Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, sir.
Aretha Franklin. Ray Charles. I'm real old school. Most
it could be any artist you want, bro.
Can't get to my music because I'm old school. But when I think of inspirational, spiritual, I think about an Aretha Franklin song called Holy Holy.
Holy Holy. Okay, so that's song number 2.
I'm not sure if that's the name, but she comes into this church. Boy, if you want church, y'all look it up.
Okay. What's your hype song? Your pump up song?
My and I may venture off here. My song for me where I am right now that gets me going with my wife, my children, and my family is Steady Love by India.
Okay.
Man, listen. When that song comes on in the house, I got a 2-year-old. She go, woo. Steady Love. I mean, she too, and she can sing it. And my wife put it on a playlist for us. And so we played a lot when we were taking showers or whatever, and the kids in there. And that 2-year-old, she's woo, Teddy, Steady Love. I mean, that's the song. When I think about a pump-up song, I don't have one specific song because I can turn on a playlist of Hendrix.
That's fine. Give me a feel good Hendrix song. You got one more song. Give me your favorite feel good Hendrix song.
Jesus. Jimmy, Are You Experienced?
Are You Experienced? Jimi Hendrix. Perfect.
One of my favorite artists. That's one of my favorite artists, Pat.
And say Voodoo Child.
Voodoo Child. Yes, sir.
I know I'm going back. I know Glenn is looking like, what the fuck?
No, he not. He good. Let's see what he got up next. Glenn, you on deck, bro. What's your pump up song?
All right, my pump up song is "We Are the Champions" by Rockefeller.
Yes.
Kanye, Cameron, Beanie Siegel.
Yes, that's good.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
the
good
Yes,
get
one.
up
sir.
in the morning song.
That's a
That,
good
what's
one.
so crazy is I was gonna put the Queen one on my list.
Were you?
But that they
I'll
both
change
good.
it now. I'll
Both
change
of
it.
them are good. Both of them are good.
They
Put that
both are
on there.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, go with it. Love that song.
All right, give me your inspirational joint.
So inspirational. This is actually a it's not really country, but it is country pop. Tim McGraw wrote a song called "Live Like You're Dying," and he dedicated it to his father who died of cancer.
Oh
And
wow. Okay.
beautiful
Wow.
song, like the words and everything else just touched me so much. You know, having had a parent go through cancer and understand that. Now I understand that song so much better.
Yep.
So truly inspirational. So my feel good song, the song I dropped the top to and just play, "Uptown" by Prince.
Yes,
That song
sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
that's
I
a
That
love
is a
me
feel
some
good
Prince.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
oh,
feel
that's a
good
good
song.
one.
Yeah.
From the
That's a
first
good one.
note, from the opening
I,
note,
I
you know.
I just watched
Hey,
Purple
Glenn,
Rain
I
last
was
night.
muted, but I was saying
Yeah.
I went skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing. I
Yeah.
rode 3.7 seconds on a horse named Fu Manchu. I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just
a
like
good
you're
one.
dying. Yep.
That's a good one.
All right, Shawn, you on deck. You got you only gave me one. I need your inspirational and I need your feel good.
Can I replace my upbeat? Now somebody else gave 4. I want y'all to see how Mel be treating me. Didn't somebody else give an extra? So my inspirational is "If Not for Your Grace" by Israel Houghton.
If
Oh,
not for
wow.
your grace,
"If Not for Your Grace" by Israel Houghton. And then my feel good is that
Israel.
old
Who's Israel? What's the last name?
Houghton, Houghton.
Okay. And then your
You'll be
feel
able to
good.
find that one.
My feel good is that timeless classic by Stephen Morris called "As."
Oh, I was almost gonna pick that one. Did you take Mel's? You took Mel's.
See, look, if Mel had given me my other choice to replace, I probably would have chose that. See that?
You know you did, Mel.
That's okay. That's okay. Because Stevie Wonder is my favorite artist of all time. So that's cool. You can go ahead and have it. You go ahead and have it, bro. You go ahead and have it.
Neil, do I get this playlist?
Yes, you
You gonna
will.
send
And
it
bro,
to me?
it's Mel, like Mel Gibson, but without the Gibson.
I ain't trying to fool with you, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's all good.
I want to play all these games. I want to make sure I get this playlist. So
Yeah, are you gonna get it?
Yeah, I want to get it. Definitely get it.
You gonna get it. All right, so it's my turn. So since Shawn wants to be a mind reader, that's fine. Let me alter some of what I do. So I will put my pump me up song, "What We Do" by Freeway. Even though what we do is wrong, yeah. So I'm gonna do that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, bro. That man, that's one of the timeless workout joints. Whatever, get pumped up. My inspirational song, you all are probably gonna be surprised by this. A song that inspires me and I think about it is actually by Harry Chapin, "Cats in the Cradle."
Really? Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah, man.
Little boy
I
blue.
was surprised by the category "Feel Good," but I get the song.
Yeah, that's inspirational. That's inspiration. It's like the whole circle of life thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I really thought about it when I had children, and I thought about how I taught my children, how I treated my parents growing up. So that's my second one. So let me make sure that's on the list.
While you come up with your third one, that reminds me of a song by India that a lot of people aren't hip to. It's not necessarily a feel good song, but it's contextually it's kind of similar. It's called "Good Man." You ought to check that out by India Ari. It's on her second, third album called "Good Man."
I've heard that.
Yeah, that's my inspirational one.
Same CD of the song that I shared with you guys earlier. It's a bomb CD, man. I mean, it's no
Yeah.
joke. India
But I mean-
knocks it out of the park, and this is like a third or fourth CD, right?
Yep. So I get a feel good song, and even though you chose Stevie Wonder, and I was gonna choose Stevie Wonder as well, As was not my song. As is an amazing song. A lot of people think the name of As is actually Always, but it's
Always.
As. So I get it. I get it. You know, I still have the original 1976 Song in the Key of Life double disc album.
So do I. I got two of them. I got two of them at the crib.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations to
But I
both of
will
y'all. Wrap it
go
up.
with Stevie Wonder, and instead of As, I'll go with All I Do by Stevie
Yes, sir.
Wonder, which is
Oh,
definitely
that's a good one.
That was
feel
gonna
good
be mine, but I put it on another playlist. So good choice.
That's a great choice.
All right, and that's it for me. We got our playlist. We will make this up, do it on Spotify.
B-Cole, bro? You went. I didn't even remember B-Cole's. Okay.
I did, man.
B-Cole went. Shawn, if you want to close us out, good brother, and get and
Absolutely. Hey man, I can't say it enough. I appreciate you guys, man, spending this time with us. Pat, B-Cole, Pat, my pleasure meeting you, brother. We got some ties, man, that we need to take advantage of. I look forward to doing that. And B-Cole, man, I'm humbled, man, to come full circle around, man. Because like I said, I don't see you moving around, but you know, like I said, I'm always thinking about what you're doing and you know, and how you're doing, man. So I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you doing so well.
Well, can I ask you all to watch my special that's on NDTV right now? It just dropped Friday. It's called Welcome Back Comedy. B-Cole, and I'm back. That's the thing. I'm back. So, like I said, I've been behind the scenes, and I come back and do an hour special after 20 years being on TV. So check it out.
Hey, man, I can't wait to check it out, man. And of course, Glenn and Mel, you guys know how I feel about you, and you guys allowing me to sit in this space and you know, pretend like I'm somebody by being the host of the show. And everybody that's tuned in and watching us, man, I appreciate all the love that we've been given and all the views that we've been given. And, you know, we're committed to making this thing even better and bigger and greater than it's been. And so until next Saturday, man, at 9, this has been Live from the Cave, and we'll be back at you.
Camped out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.